I don't normally do these. In fact, I've never done one of these. But after seeing the news about the limousine crash, of course, I'm referring to the 20 people killed in New York. Apparently, ran a stoplight or a stop sign and collided into a parked SUV. And there were four sisters inside that all died. Everybody died. Every person in the limo died, and so did a couple of pedestrians. The whole scenario kind of hit home for me because I've actually been building a limo bus, not unlike that does. It's sort of weird. When I looked into launching my limo company, I looked into the regulations and found that it was remarkably simple. I've gone and looked at other limos and found many of them to be real shit boxes that have just been kind of glazed over. It's kind of a thing. The regulations for a limo service are remarkably thin. When I was building my limousine, I could not stop thinking about that. And the project ended up going way over budget, and the project ended up going way late, and was ultimately cut off. And I ran out of funding and time, and I had to back burner the project. And then I was being threatened by my investors. The entire time, I know that I could have probably made those deadlines if I had just done one thing that I refused to do and wouldn't do. And no matter how more complicated and challenging the project got, I always refused to make this compromise, which is to cut corners on the remodel. I wouldn't do it. I just could imagine throwing a shitty patch or covering up a failing corner or something like that. And eventually it cost me the project in many ways, my credibility damage and all these other things. But at the same time, I'm thinking, you know what though? I never cut those corners. Seeing this accident, the horrific tragedy that it is, just makes me imagine, what if I had made a different decision? What if I had said, yeah, we can just throw this simple patch on here and we'll cut this corner and we'll get it out, and I got it on the road, and the same thing had happened. What if I had done that? And it's a bizarre feeling because I had definitely wrestled with that argument while I was working on the project. And in another timeline, it's very possible. I can feel what it might have felt like to be the person who created the vehicle that killed 20 people. I have a son and a daughter, and there's a certain kind of trust that you give somebody when you climb in a vehicle with them, whether it's a cab or an Uber or a limousine. After seeing what happened with this limo bus, the families and the sisters and everybody who died, and just the horrific nature of it all, and they're saying that it was a modified van that failed inspection and all of this, and it just reminds me why you don't cut corners. Oh yeah, that's right, because you're putting people's lives and families in your care and your trust, and it just doesn't matter, and nothing else matters beyond that. No amount of money or time or status will ever be more important than that.